Hi everybody and welcome to this 23rd HSP TV live episode. Today I want to talk to you about limiting beliefs and the effect they have on your goals. What are limiting beliefs? Well, limiting beliefs are the things that you think and say about yourself that limit you in this world. They are the things that you picked up during your childhood because limiting beliefs are made in the first 7 years of our existence. And they are the things that hold you back from taking chances, from trying out new things, from being successful, but also from achieving your goals. Limiting beliefs work limiting beliefs are a difficult issue because we are usually not we usually don't know that we have limiting beliefs. They are things that happen in the background, below the surface, things that are there without us actually knowing it. And the first step in overcoming your limiting beliefs is becoming aware that you have one. And to be honest to you, the first time I heard the phrase limiting belief, I thought, really? Limiting beliefs? Do I really have beliefs that are so powerful that they can limit me? I wasn't sure. But then I started to think and I started to look at my childhood, at my past, about the reoccurring patterns, because that usually indicates limiting beliefs. You have to look at the patterns in your life. They're usually happening in patterns, usually things that happen over and over again. And in my case, it was over and over again losing my job without me actually wanting to lose the job or choosing to lose the job. It kept happening every 1.5 years. I lost my job, usually because the company went bankrupt or because it was taken over by another company. But it kept happening and happening, and it forced me to look at what was happening in that place. And this is the first step, looking at your patterns and then trying to find out what limiting belief could be behind it. And if you looked at the job, limiting beliefs of mine were, I am not worth it. I cannot live up to the expectations that people have of me in this job. There are not enough jobs out there. People are not waiting for me for this job. There must be better candidates for this job. These are all examples of limiting beliefs, but it can also be people don't love me, I am not lovable, people don't want me around, I am not good enough, I will never succeed, I am fat, I am ugly, I will never make it, nobody will ever choose me. These are all examples of limiting beliefs. And you can imagine that if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, or if you want to be a manager or a CEO in a company, and you have the limiting belief, I am worthless, I am not worthy, I am not good enough, or I will never amount to anything, that it will be extremely hard to be successful in either your company or at your job. So it is key to discover these limiting beliefs and to rewrite them. So how do you handle limiting beliefs? Well, if you take the limiting belief, I am not good enough, you start to rewrite it into a supporting belief, a belief that supports what you want. So the limiting belief, I am not good enough, could be rewritten into, I am learning. I am learning how to be good at this job. I am learning how to be a good entrepreneur. I am learning how to do marketing for my company to set it on the map. I am learning how to do better management. I am learning to improve my management skills. I am learning, I am learning. That is one way of rewriting your limiting belief. If we take another one, for example, I will never amount to anything. You can rewrite that and saying, I have coping skills. I am very good at what I do, and the things that I don't know, I will learn. So try to bend the negative limiting belief into a positive supporting belief, something that will actually help you. And I've had the question, shouldn't you believe what it is that you're saying? So if you are convinced that you are fat and that you are ugly, if you rewrite it into a supporting belief, then you say, I have the perfect figure and everybody loves being around me, for instance, or I am beautiful and I have my perfect figure. Let's stick with I am beautiful and I have my perfect figure as a supporting belief for I am fat and I'm ugly. When you are convinced that you are fat and ugly, when you say I am beautiful and I have the perfect figure, it will not be something you believe. But that's the beautiful thing about your thoughts. You don't have to believe them. Because if you look at children, we tell them there is an Easter bunny. We tell them there's a tooth fairy. We tell them there is Santa Claus. And they believe it, even though it's not true. And that is how your mind works. So if you keep telling yourself, I am beautiful, I have the perfect figure, I can do anything I set my mind to, I can learn anything that I not currently know, so I will be good at my job. These are things that you might not believe at the moment you're saying it, but if you keep repeating it and keep repeating it, then eventually it will become true, and you don't have to believe your supporting belief in order for it to work, or in order for you to transform your limiting belief into that supporting belief. You just have to rewrite it and then keep telling yourself over and over your new supporting belief, and then eventually you will start to believe it, even though you don't believe it in the beginning. If you hear it often enough, if you tell it to yourself often enough, if you have other people tell it to you, so you can use friends and let them say to you, I love you, you're awesome, I love being around you. If you want to feel better about yourself, for instance, they can help you with these types of things. And even though you might not believe it in the beginning, the more you hear it, the more it sinks in, and then eventually it replaces your limiting belief, and it will become your new belief about yourself, and magic things will start to happen. So if you have the goal of becoming a very good entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur with maybe a multi-million company like Google or like Amazon, for instance, and you have the limiting belief, I am not good enough, then you will have to rewrite your limiting belief in, I can do anything I set my mind to. So transform I am not good enough into I can do anything I set my mind to. And make sure that you come across this new supporting belief as often as possible. So you need to place it in strategic places where you will see it often. What I do personally is I write them on sticky notes, and I place a sticky note on my fridge, for instance. So every time I open the fridge, I see the sticky note saying, I can do anything I set my mind to. I am awesome. I will learn everything that I don't know already, so I can be even awesomer. I also write it on a sticky note that I put on the bathroom mirror. So every time I'm in the bathroom, brushing my teeth, combing my hair, putting on my makeup, I will see my new supporting belief. I also put it up in the bathroom, at home and at work. So every time, and this is an advantage I know for girls because we always sit down, but every time I sit down on the toilet, I see the sticky note in front of me. I see my new supporting belief. I can do anything I set my mind to. I even use it as an hourly reminder in my calendar. If you have a digital calendar, you can make appointments, so you can make an appointment for yourself, schedule it for every hour or every 2 hours or for as often as you would like, and have it pop up on your screen saying, you are awesome, you can do anything you set your mind to. The more often you hear it, the more often you read it, the sooner it becomes your new belief, and the sooner you will see the beneficial effects of it in your daily life. So, to recap, a limiting belief is something that you have come to believe about yourself based on something that you've been told, probably in the first 7 years of your life, that gave you a certain image of yourself that is limiting you in this world. An example of that could be, I am worthless, I cannot do anything, I am fat, I am ugly. These are all types of limiting beliefs, and they usually come from people in your environment, your parents, a teacher, grandparents, friends, co-workers. Could even be a boss that fired you, that said something to you that hurt you deep in your soul, and that became your new identity, a new conviction about yourself. They all transform into limiting beliefs, and like the name says, they limit us. So if you have goals, if you have dreams, find out what these limiting beliefs are that are keeping you from actually reaching them. And then you start by looking at the patterns in your life, especially when they are there from childhood on. You will see throughout your life a certain pattern that keeps repeating over and over again, and then find out what belief is at the basis of that pattern. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, and usually there's more than one, you can start to rewrite them into supporting beliefs. So, I am fat and I'm ugly can become, I am beautiful and I have a perfect figure. I am worthless, I cannot do anything can become, I am awesome, I can do anything I set my mind to. Rewrite your negative, limiting beliefs into positive, supporting beliefs. And then make sure that you encounter these supportive beliefs wherever you go. Paste sticky notes in your car, on the fridge, on the bathroom mirror, in the bathroom, at the toilet, at your PC monitor. For instance, make appointments in your calendar that pop up and tell you you're awesome, you can do anything you set your mind to. Try to think of creative ways in which you encounter these new supportive beliefs wherever you go. The more often you hear them, the sooner you can transform them, and the easier it will become to actually reach your goal. This was my broadcast about limiting beliefs and goal setting, because it's January now, and usually this is the time that everybody sets new goals for themselves. There's one last thing that I want to tell you guys about goal setting, because out of the 100% of people that set goals for themselves, only 3% actually write them down. And it's proven now scientifically that from the 3%, 96% actually achieves their goals, while from the 97% who doesn't write down their goals, I think 90% does not achieve those goals. So if you want to achieve those goals, you first need to find and transform your limiting beliefs, but you also need to write them down and make an action plan to achieve them. Because if you write them down, the chances are far bigger of you actually achieving your goals. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for being here live with me today with this 23rd episode of HSP TV. I will be back next Thursday, 5:30 Amsterdam time, to answer all your questions. So come and ask them from me live in the broadcast, or if you have a topic you would like me to talk about, like this, limiting beliefs. Somebody emailed me and told me, why am I not able to reach my goals? So that was the topic of today's broadcast. Email them to me, your topics, your questions, if you do not want to ask them live in the broadcast, at info@tobeimbalance.com. The information will also be viewed below this video. Thank you again, and see you next week. Bye!